जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरा जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभा जय यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरा जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव जय राधा वृंदावन चंद्र राधा वृंदावन चंद्र राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे जय निताई गौरंगा जय निताई गौरंगा निताई गौरंगा जय निताई गौरंगा जय वृंदावन धाम वृंदावन धाम वृंदावन धाम जय वृंदावन धाम जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। Yo Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parvajakacaryastu Tadashi Sriman His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON founder Acharya BBT founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayen Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3. Krishna is the source of all incarnations. Text number 23. Ekonavimshe Vimshati me Ekonavimshe Vimshati me Ekonavimshe Vimshati me Vrishnisho Prapya Janmani Vrishnisho Prapya Janmani Vrishnisho Prapya Janmani Ramakrishna iti bhuvo Ramakrishna iti bhuvo Ramakrishna iti bhuvo Bhagavan aharad bharam Bhagavan aharad bharam Bhagavan aharad bharam Ekonavimshe vimshati me Vrishnisho prapya janmani Ramakrishna viti bhuvo Bhagavan aharad bharam Ekonavimshe vimshati me Vrishnisho prapya janmani Ramakrishna viti bhuvo Bhagavan aharad bharam Ekonavimshe vimshati me Vrishnisho prapya janmani Krishna aharad bharam Vimshati Krishna viti bhuvo Ekonavimshe vimshati me Vrishnisho prapya janmani Ramakrishna iti bhuva Bhagavan haradharam Ekona vimshe vimshati me Vrishnisho prapya janmaso Ramakrishna iti bhuva Bhagavan haradharam Ekona vimshe in the 19th, Vimshati me in the 20th also, Vrishnisho in the Vrishni dynasty, Prapya having obtained, Janmani birth, Rama Balarama, Krishna Shri Krishna, Iti thus, Bhuvaha of the world, Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Aharat, removed, Bharam, burden. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In the 19th and 20th incarnations, the Lord advented Himself as Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna in the family of Vrishni, the Yadu dynasty. And by so doing, He removed the burden of the world. Kindly repeat. In the 19th and 20th incarnations, the Lord advented Himself as Lord Balarama and Lord Krishna in the family of Vrishni, the Yadu dynasty, and by so doing, He removed the burden of the world. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki. The specific mention of the word Bhagavan in this text indicates that Balaram and Krishna are original forms of the Lord. This will be further explained later. Lord Krishna is not an incarnation of the Purusha, as we learned from the beginning of this chapter. He is directly the original personality of Godhead. And Balaram is the first plenary manifestation of the Lord. From Baladeva, the first phalanx of plenary expansions, Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Aniruddha and Pradyumna expands. Lord Sri Krishna is Vasudeva and Baladeva is Sankarshana. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the description of the different incarnations is being made by Sutta Goswami on the request of the sages of Naimisharanya. Sutta Goswami is answering few questions which the sages have asked. All the sages have assembled in the place known as Naimisharanya, which is near Lucknow, for performing 1,000-year sacrifice. And this sacrifice is not like the sacrifice we understand, that Havan. They have assembled to perform 1,000-year sacrifice of hearing about Krishna. This is also called Yajna. Right? Sankirtana Yajna. So they have chosen Sutta Goswami as their leader, and they are requesting him to speak about the various pastimes and different aspects of Lord Krishna, his incarnations, because Suta Goswami happened to be in the assembly where one more great personality by name Shukadeva Goswami, he delivered the Bhagavatam for 7 continuous days to Parikshit Maharaj. The whole of this canto, first canto, how Parikshit Maharaj, he was a great emperor of the whole planet, Bharatavarsha. He was cursed by a Brahmana boy, and later he went to the bank of the Ganges. He sat there for meditation on Lord Krishna, and that is the time when Shukadeva Goswami arrived and Bhagavatam was spoken. So in that assembly of great sages where Shukadeva Goswami spoke Bhagavatam for the first time, right? Suta Goswami was present. That's why sages knew that if we can hear from him what he has spoken, then it will be wonderful. That's how the Bhagavatam or the teachings of Vedic literatures is passed down in Parampara. So here specifically the usage of the words. Sanskrit is a very beautiful language. Ekona vimshe. Some problem with the mic. I think battery is down, I think. Eka means one. Una means less. One less for Vimsha. Vimsha means 20 in Sanskrit. Dasha means 10. Vimsha means 20. So one less for 20 is how much? 19. Ekovana Vimshe and Vimshatime. The 19th and the 20th incarnations where they appeared in the family of Vrishni. Right? Lord can appear anywhere. But specifically, he can choose also to appear. That is the Lord's prerogative. That is his Leela. In our case, we cannot choose. We are not given a choice. At the time of our birth, we are not given a choice. We are forced to take birth as per the laws of karma. Whereas with Krishna and his various avatars, they will choose to come at their sweet will. That is the difference between we living entities and Supreme Lord. Right? So, in one of the prayers, later on we'll see, in the same canto, Kunti Maharani is praying how Lord chose the Vrishni dynasty, the Yadu Vamsha. What is it compared to? She says, Kechidahu rajam jatam punya shlokasya kirtaye yado priyasyanvavaye malayasyeva chandanam. She is giving different versions of how Lord appears in various ways. Kechidahur. Some people say, even though you are Aja, you are unborn, but you are taking birth. Right? Very soon, in next 1.5 months, we are going to celebrate Krishna's Janmashtami. Krishna is known as Aja, unborn. Again, he takes birth. So this is a pastime of Lord. He is unborn, but he appears to take birth. So this is a bewildering situation. What it is, we have to understand. So Kunti Maharani is offering her prayers that like this Krishna who is unborn takes birth, and he takes birth in the family of great pious kings. Punya shlokasya kirtaye. Just to increase their fame further. So he has taken birth in the family of Yado Priyasyanvavaye. Yadu, one of the king's descendants, where Krishna was born. Lord Ramachandra was born in the dynasty of Ikshvaku. Likewise, Krishna also chooses specific family. That this should be my parents, this should be my family. So they get the fame. Kirtaye. It's like Kunti Maharani is giving example. Malayasyeva chandanam. In the Vedic times, is a place known as Malaya, the modern Malaysia, which is very famous for Chandana. Especially that Chandan is so fragrant and so wonderful that people used to get all over the world, they used to export that Chandana. Just like we say Kashmiri saffron, right? Some specific items or specific products are from specific places. We have in South India something known as Mysore Pak. That sweet only is from a place by name Mysore, right? A sweet is made there, very beautiful sweet, very delicious sweet. Thank you. It's called Mysore Pak. So like that, specific places take the significance with regard to Mysore Pak can be made here also. Doesn't mean Mysore Pak only is made in Mysore, but it was made there, so it got the name Mysore Pak, right? So likewise, this Chandana or sandalwood can grow anywhere, but Lord chose to, rather the sandalwood grown there is become famous as Malayasya Chandana. Likewise, Lord can appear in any family, any place, but he chose to appear in the family of Vrishni, Yaduvamsha. That's why he's known as Yadava, Vashneya. And Lord appeared as first his expansion, Balarama, Rama, then Krishna. Right? Again, this appearance of Lord is elaborately described in the Bhagavata, in the 10th canto. Bhagavatam is a very expansive Vedic literature, having 12 cantos. Sometimes people confuse Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavata. Bhagavad Gita is the words spoken by Lord Krishna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Krishna himself spoke. That is Bhagavad Gita. Right? When the battle was about to begin, Arjuna was confused. His determination was too low. In order to enthuse Arjuna, it was hardly any time. Prabhupada says, speaking Bhagavad Gita hardly took 45 minutes to 1 hour for Krishna. And we take whole lifetime to understand this. Very difficult. So that was the level of intelligence Arjuna had. Within 45 minutes he understood what I had to do. So like this is Bhagavad Gita. Whereas Bhagavata, as Bhagavatam itself says in the beginning, Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam. Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit of the expansive Vedic knowledge. The Vedic literatures are very huge, very vast. It's like ocean. There's so many, Vedas, then explanations called Upanishads, then Puranas, Agamas. Like that, if you go on, you will be lost. It is said even to understand the Vedas or the language in the Vedas, you have to study grammar, Vyakarana. That requires 12 years. Just like we send children to schools for 12 years to get their schooling, primary education and high school education, like that. A student in Vedic discipline, he is supposed to go to the Gurukula to study Vyakarana for 12 years. Then he can understand what is mentioned in the Vedic literatures. And Vedas are huge, vast. So in Kali Yuga, people are having, their intelligence is reduced like anything. Their memory power is too shortened. Their lifespan is shortened with so many inebrities. It was specifically thought over by Vyasadeva to give us a essence of the entire Vedic literatures, the range of Vedic literatures. Otherwise, you go on understanding, studying every literature, what is there in that, what is there in this, then it will be too difficult. Right? So Vyasadeva gave us the essence of all the Vedic literatures, the vast tree of Vedic literatures. That is the It's a fruit. Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam. Just like now there is mango season going on. What do you expect from a mango tree? The mango, not even mango, ripened mango. Right? Ripened mango. If it is ripened on the tree, it is very tasty. And further Bhagavatam says, if it is ripened, it is, eaten by Shuka, parrot, it is even more tastier. So the essence of the entire Vedic literatures is condensed as Bhagavatam and presented to us in the form of 12 cantos, 18,000 slokas, whereas Bhagavad Gita has 700 slokas. It's further condensed. Just like we have an Oxford dictionary and a big Oxford dictionary and a small Oxford dictionary. Whatever is there in Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita also has. Bhagavad Gita is further condensed. Just like when you condense the milk, go on condensing it, is 1 liter becomes 200 grams, or further you condense it becomes 100 grams, like that. So Bhagavad Gita is the essence, complete essence. Again, in a way that only philosophy is spoken there. The same Bhagavad Gita is further elaborated in Bhagavad. It's like it is mentioned here, Ramakrishna appeared Janmani Bhuvo Bhagavan Aharad Bharam. Krishna appeared to reduce or remove the burden of the world. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita only mentions Paritralaya sadhuna vinashaya dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Why I appear, Krishna says. Whenever there is increase of irreligion, to protect my devotees and to vanquish the demons, I appear millennium after millennium to establish the principles of religion. That's all. Krishna has mentioned that much. No further mention of anything. Whereas in Bhagavatam, why Krishna incarnates, what are different types of incarnations, and what all activities happen in every incarnation, Krishna explains. Rather, Vyasadeva, one of the incarnations of Krishna, explains for our understanding. Why? Because Krishna again in Bhagavad Gita says, Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tatvataha. One who understands my birth, my activities, my teachings, in truth, for them this is the last life, Krishna says. Just you have to understand. It's like all of us are sitting here trying to understand what is Bhagavatam. If you simply endeavor to do that, whether you understand or don't understand, it is a different matter. Prabhupada says, if you hear also, every day, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya means hear. Then what happens? Krishna says, you are already on the path of purification and you will be delivered from this cycle of birth and death very soon. Right? Like this, the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, we have to understand the difference. Bhagavata is the, you can say, Prabhupada says, Bhagavad Gita is like A, B, C, D. The basics. And Bhagavatam, Prabhupada says, is a graduate study. After schooling only you go to graduation, no? Right? You become graduate in a specific subject matter. Right? Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, so many graduations. And there's one more literature called Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is the post-graduation study. So Prabhupada says, so much literature we have given you. So don't waste time seeing your mobiles 24 hours. Or doing so many things other than Krishna consciousness. Read. Prabhupada made, in one of the talks, every day Prabhupada has the habit of going for a morning walk, wherever in the world, whichever situation, whichever climate. So once he was in Australia with few devotees doing a morning walk. So the topic was, the discussion of topic was the study of Bhagavatam. Prabhupada started telling how every verse of Bhagavatam is so perfect. Simply if you go on studying every day, discuss every day, it will take 50 years. One verse per day. Right? Then, where is the time for you? Rupa Goswami says, Avyartha kalatvam. Don't waste even a moment of your life doing anything else, because so much to study. Generally what happens, the tendency of human tendency is that, it's like in school days, at least I remember, exam is 2 months away. Oh, 2 months away. We'll read, we'll study. A whole time playing and doing so many things. 2 months became 1 month. 1 month is there, no, we'll do. 1 month. I'll sit now studiously, morning till evening, I'll study only. 1 month became 1 week. Oh, now 1 week, I have to sit and study something. 1 week became 3 days. And tomorrow is exam. Then what do you do? Nothing. I have to study now. Whole night I have to study because tomorrow exam. This is called in Sanskrit, Yuddha Kale Shastrabhyasa. Means tomorrow is Yuddha, fight. You will practice weaponry and military art today. But you become expert tomorrow. So like this, we go on with our life, postponing. Procrastination it is called. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, laziness, procrastination is a symptom of tamo guna. We are always, preoccupied with this rajoguna, tamoguna. Rajoguna means too passionate to work for satisfying my senses. Okay, see, this message has come, I have to run behind this gratification. Something there to eat, something there to see, something there to hear. Somebody told something, let me go and do something like this. Running here and there whole time. If you start analyzing your time, 24 hours, what all you have done from morning till evening, you will come to know effectively how much efficiently you have done bhakti. Right? So like this, our time goes. And tomorrow, we have seen generally, even our Prabhupada Ashraya, we have programs. Exam is there means that day or 1 day before or few days before start reading the book. No, that is not the point. The point is Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Because life examination of facing our inevitable death, when it will come, you also don't know. It may come now, after some, say, few minutes or few days or few years, we don't know. Nobody has any notice. Right? Prabhupada says, Parikshit Maharaj had 7 days notice. So very fortunate. Whereas in our case, we don't have 7-minute notice. But even then we are going around as though, I am fine, everything is going well. And you say, suddenly he died. Nothing is sudden. Everything is planned. Just like recently that Ahmedabad plane crash happened. Suddenly everybody died. No. The laws of karma are very, very specific, very precise, and it acts in a way you feel it is sudden, but it is all designed or planned in a we can say planned by Krishna and his agents in a very, very nice way. That's the point. So, here specifically, when it is mentioned, Rama Krishna, they removed the burden of the world. Again, this word Rama Krishna, in the modern context, maybe since many years, we are used to hear this word Rama Krishna with regard to one more organization, right? So it is important that just keeping a name of Rama Krishna doesn't mean it is a very elevated spiritual organization. Rama Krishna, with regard to Rama Krishna's incarnation, we'll see, this is at the beginning of Bhagavatam, first canto, we'll see many, many descriptions being given in detailed way. So the incarnations of Krishna and Krishna himself coming is not ordinary appearance. Anybody can keep Ramakrishna's name and claim, I have become Ramakrishna. That is all, refuted by the Vedic scriptures, because all the incarnations, as we have been discussing since a few verses, all the mention of the incarnations and what they will do, where they will appear, when they will appear, is precisely mentioned in Bhagavad. Just like we'll see the next verse, Buddha's incarnation is mentioned. See, the Bhagavatam was compiled 5,000 years ago. Buddha came 2,000 years ago. Which means the past, present, future, everything is described in the Bhagavata. Bhuta, Vartamana, Bhavishya. So it's called Shastra. So the incarnation of Krishna, or Krishna himself coming, is described in detail in Bhagavatam 5,000 years ago by Vyasadeva. Somebody coming and claiming, I am Ramakrishna, should show where is the reference. Right? So this is one important message which we have to understand from the scriptural understanding, that nobody can claim that I am an avatara or incarnation simply like that. Now coming to the point of when Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram appeared, they bhuvo aharad bharam. They appeared to remove the burden of the world. You may wonder, what is this burden? Such a big earth, so many mountains, so many oceans. Nowadays, cities are all getting skyscrapers. We are building a big temple here. Is it not a burden? So much of burden? No. This is not a burden. This is not the burden from Vedic understanding. The burden is when the living entities, especially human form, you don't do your dharma. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, dharmasya glani. Say for instance, in your house, your own child, son or daughter, she is not or he is not properly attending to studies. Very weak in studies. Then as parent, don't you feel burden? Oh, my child is not studying, not responsible. It's a burden, no? So like this, you see, there are so many burdens we are carrying on our head with regard to myself, my family, my society, my community, or in an office you are working. Suddenly there is a notice. Just like I heard, Amazon is trying to lay off thousands of employees very soon. What sort of a burden the employees are about to be laid off will be going through? Where will I get a new job? It's a burden, right? I was in a very comfortable job, things are going very well. It's a burden. Anything which is disturbing your routine, your understanding, your normal way of working, is a burden in the common sense. From the Vedic perspective, dharma means the intrinsic nature of the living entity, which as he is supposed to act in a specific way to fulfill his spiritual responsibilities. Prabhupada gives the example of the dharma of sugar is to be sweet. Anything white substance you give and say this is sugar, then immediately you will taste. No, it is not tasting sweet. No, it is not sugar. It's tasting, bitter. So dharma of sugar is to be sweet. Dharma of water is to be liquid. Like that, the different substances and objects which you see around us have specific characteristics. That is called dharma. So dharma of every one of us as spirit soul, Bhagavatam explains that we are part and parcel of Krishna and we are supposed to serve Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu puts in a very simple language, Jivera Swarupa Nitya Krishna Dasa. This is our dharma. Dharma means characteristic. As spirit soul, we are supposed to be serving Krishna. Why? Because my hands, part of my body, is supposed to serve my body. My hand becomes paralyzed or for some reason not able to, work for me. It is a burden for me. Right? Likewise, from the Vedic perspective, Bhagavatam perspective, when people don't follow their spiritual duties, then that becomes a burden for earth, Mother Earth. When there is adharma going on, irreligiosity going on, adharma means they are not following their spiritual duties of performing devotion to Krishna, doing so many things. Right? The present situation of war and so much of tension all over, the crisis, is all because of that. Every situation has a reason. When you are violating the laws, reaction will come sooner or later, today or tomorrow. There is a conversation Prabhupada had, 1975. He predicted there will be a third world war. Because the karma, individual karma and collective karma goes on accumulating. And it will burst out as war, as some epidemic, or some calamity. Right? So this is the way the nature takes care of seeing that the people understand that you have to follow dharma. But we are so dull-headed in Kali Yuga that in spite of seeing the fact, reality in front of us, we don't accept and transform ourselves or correct ourselves. After that plane crash in Ahmedabad, there were so many videos in the social media. One of the videos somehow I got it. And then in that, one lady is telling, after the plane crash, the husband and wife was supposed to get divorced. They understood the purpose of life and they are now not getting divorced. They want to lead a very peaceful life because they are realized, after all, one day we have to die. And there were so many such family issues with so many people. They are seeing their own relatives are no more. So they are trying to reconcile and rather make a very peaceful living. So like this, people come up with a philosophy. Okay, now I have seen something. Now let me simply settle down with. Okay, this is the. So like this type of a reaction to some calamity. The Shastras say it is called Smashana Vairagya. Smashana means graveyard. People, when one of your close relatives or close friends is left the body, then you also feel, oh, what is this life? What is the use of earning? Let her go. Just be simple. All those thoughts come. Nice Bhagavad Gita teachings will come down upon. Right? Until the time you go and the cremation, all the rituals are over. After you come back home, then again begin. Forget everything. Again begin the new chapter. Get run out, passionate, lazy, procrastination for spiritual understanding. This is called Smashana Vairagya. This type of Vairagya is of no use. So this is how the burden of the world goes on increasing. So they have come to relieve the burden of the world. In what way? So that people understand the purpose of life. Because there are so many demons, so many people who are atheistic. So Krishna and Balarama personally appeared to vanquish them and protect their pure devotees. So specifically in the Bhagavad Gita, I would like to point out, Krishna is known as Parabrahma. This is a nice prayer which Arjuna offers to Krishna. Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. Param Brahma. Krishna is Param Brahma. Right? Generally, we hear this word Brahman, Brahma. Right? What does it mean? And how is it connected to relieving the burden? As we are also Brahman. You heard the statement, Aham Brahmasmi. I am spirit. Anything connected to spiritual, transcendental is called Brahman. Right? There's a further wonderful explanation in the Bhagavad Gita with regard to Brahman. Because Krishna is known as Parabrahman. Right? He gives 4 characteristics of Brahman. All of us, in fact. Very nicely he says, Brahmano hi pratishtaham amritasyavya cha shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukasya ekantikasya cha. This is 14th chapter, last verse. He says, this Brahman, what you say, is resting on me. Krishna says. Generally in the Vedic language, Brahman also means the effulgence coming from Krishna's body. It's called Brahma Jyoti. Krishna has various manifestations. As Bhagavan, he is in the spiritual Goloka Vrindavana, Dhama. And he also expands as Paramatma in each of us, every living entity, every atom. Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham. And also from his body there is effulgence coming out. In fact, Prabhupada says, this sky is blue. Why? Because the effulgence from Krishna's body, the light coming from Krishna's body is blue. That's why sky is blue. Very simple. When you see sky, you should remember Krishna. Why sky is not some other color? That is the color of Krishna. Like this, every aspect you see creation, Krishna everywhere. You drink water, Krishna says, understand, this is I am the taste in the water. You see sun and moon, you understand that is my energy, Krishna says. Like this, everywhere you can see Krishna only. But even then, we are so adamant, so stubborn, you close our eyes, no Krishna, only I am there. It's like Prabhupada says, when the rabbits or some animals, they are in great danger, they close their eyes and say, no danger, only I am there, I am very safe. Like this. So Krishna is everywhere. Everything is Krishna. But we don't have that. No, we have not opened our eyes. Prabhupada says we are like owls. Owls, daytime they are sleeping, night time they are very active. Darkness, nothing, they have sharp eyes. Now they can see some things. So like this, we become owls. So coming to our discussion here, this Krishna says, this Brahman is situated on me. And this Brahman, which is impersonal Brahma Jyoti, is having 4 characteristics. Amritasya. Amritasya means this is imperishable. Martya means finished. Amritasya means not finished, imperishable. Right? It's not perishable. Avyayasya, immortal, forever, eternally existing. Then Shashvatasya, Sanatana, Shashvata, forever existing. And Sukasya Ekantikasya cha means the unlimited or the highest happiness which all of us are seeking for. Why I am trying to bring this verse here is to make us understand that all of us are in the effort of relieving ourselves from the burden and experiencing the best part of our life as happy life, happiness. Right? So the Vedic scriptures say, Atyantika dukkha nivritti. Right now our life is filled with lot of miseries, burdensome experiences, painful situations, troublesome circumstances. So we want to get relieved from this, that problem. This, if you touch anybody, you can see how many problems they have. Everybody of us have problems. Not one or two, unlimited. So all of us are trying to get relief. Somebody can come and help me. Oh, very good. All of us want to get relief from this burden. Right? In different ways, different situations you are going through. So Bhagavad Gita Bhagavatam prescribes, if you can have Krishna or take help of Krishna, Krishna can kick out the burdens. Right? And you will experience this situation of Amritasya, immortality, Avyayasya, imperishable aspect. That's what we want. I don't want to die. I want to be eternally existing. I want to be always happy. That is our nature. It is Satchidananda nature. But somehow this material situation is contrarily working on us, and we are experiencing impermanency, ignorance, simply miserable situation. Right? Opposite. Contrary to our nature, we are experiencing something which is opposite to our existence. So, the whole purpose of Vedic scriptures is to bring us to this level of immortality, imperishability, and eternal happiness, eternal, ultimate happiness. That's what we're looking for. Brahman. The different schools of spiritual disciplines, they are also advocating this. In one of the statements in the Bhagavata, Shukadeva Goswami says, the impersonalists and the various practitioners of spiritual disciplines are all thinking Brahman is everything. I have to merge with Brahman. They are called Mayavadis. So they are also taking care of so much of severe austerities. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 12th chapter, that they are undergoing too much troublesome, very severe type of penances. To even realize that I am Brahman and I have to merge with Brahman. And you think that Brahman is something material? Shukadeva Goswami says, no. To get transcendental objective, the yogis, the rishis, the great sons, they are all giving up all the material comforts, all the different type of a very, very lavish type of a lifestyle, and taking a very austere lifestyle. Just to realize that I am Brahman. It is just to prove that Shukadeva Goswami is trying to tell us, Brahman means not material, it is spiritual, transcendental. To come to this level of Brahman is the purpose of life. As soon as we forget our situation of Brahman, we fall down. Fall down means we take up a material situation like this. We are Brahman even in this situation, but we have forgotten. To revive this situation of our forgetfulness, Krishna comes. It's the burden, no? If you are carrying 10 kilos load on your head, it's a big burden, no? When I'll relieve myself? Sometimes, when you're going to your station or airport, you may have to carry some luggage. It's a burden. When I'll be relieved? That's why there are trolleys there in the airport or somewhere. So like this, the burden, to remove the burden, Krishna is appeared. And Krishna not only appeared 5,000 years ago, he appeared 500 years ago also as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told us that there's one more incarnation who is always appearing simply if you chant my name. You can make Krishna appear on your mouth. Right? If you vibrate Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, he has appeared. Why did he appear? He appeared to remove the burden of you. What you are carrying in your heart. Right? So, what we should do when Krishna appears? Should allow him to remove the burden. Right? Somebody is coming and telling you, sir, I will hold your bag. No, you also hold, but for some time you hold, I will continue to hold. Then that will not serve the purpose. Krishna is appearing every time you are chanting Hare Krishna. Krishna has come for what? Removing your own burden. But after that, again, we want to continue to keep the burden on my head. Prabhupada says this is called offense. Aparadha. Nama aparadha. Krishna has appeared as Nama, Kalikale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatara, but you have to avoid the offenses. Out of the 10 offenses, mostly all are easy to follow, 9. The last offense is a little difficult. What is the 10th offense? To maintain material attachments. Not have complete faith. Little faith I have. But maintain material attachments. One thing. And secondly, it is also offensive to be inattentive while chanting. 2 things. You have called Krishna. It's like, Prabhuji, you come to my home. I have come. But you are not even opening the door. Waiting. What I will do? Okay, maybe they are busy. I'll go away. You are chanting Hare Krishna, calling Krishna inside to relieve your burden. But you are not taking him inside to do that activity. He is going away. Right? So Krishna has appeared so mercifully. Prabhupada has brought us this chanting, the process of chanting so wonderfully that if you chant Hare Krishna mantra offenselessly, Prabhupada always added this adjective, offenseless chanting is important. Offenseless chanting is important. Otherwise, you can go on chanting. Yes, it will have some spiritual effect. But if you want to have a quick effect, very nice example Prabhupada gave in one of the discussions with devotees, again in Australia. Prabhupada said, if you keep ingredients in a vessel on a stove to boil, very soon it will cook and it will take some good time and then it will cook and it will be ready. So for instance, you tie that vessel 5 feet above the flame. Will it, now how much time you think it will take to cook? Don't know. Long time. Or it may not cook also. So like that, Prabhupada said, your advancement will be very quick, super fast. It's like we have many super fast trains in India coming up. What is the latest one? Bullet train. You can go in a bullet train speed if you chant offenselessly. Very soon you can yourself feel no burden. Oh, I am very free. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, when you practice devotion properly, first aspect of devotion is chanting Hare Krishna. If you done chanting nicely, you will feel susukham kartum avyayam. You will be very blissful, joyful in your whole consciousness. No burdens. Otherwise, you will always be feeling burden. That is all. Chanting time also, all thoughts are coming. So many thoughts that somehow mechanically Hare Krishna got over. The moving of the mala got over, chanting got over. Okay, Hare Krishna. That also is burden. When 16 will finish, one mala, Hare Krishna. Burdensome japa is a burden for you and you also. Krishna is saying, what is this person? You'll be thinking. Our chanting should be very blissful, very wonderful. Over? 16 malas I started now and over? Yes, it should be like that. So for that to happen, you are supposed to follow from our side offenseless chanting. So we have to get into details of how to chant, what Prabhupada says about chanting and move forward. Because Krishna has come to remove the burden. Krishna and Balaram have come. Hare Krishna has Krishna and Balaram both. Right? Both have come to remove the burden from us and take us back to spiritual world. Okay, so I'll close here. Anybody want to ask anything or discuss something? ठीक है, चलिए। अंतरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की जाए, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जाए।